premium Slack.
Yep. Do you have the link?
Hey, the YouTube link?
Yeah.
Get it ready to have it.
All right. So we're live, huh?
We are live right now, yes.
Would you rather be live or not live? That was pretty lame. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that was your worst dad joke to date.
Oh, they're going to get
completely
worse.
Honest.
Yeah, they're going to get worse. They're going to get worse.
My premium Slack names for TD and premium Slack have slowly evolved into dad joke names after the Dolphins beat teams. I don't know if you've seen that.
Well, and that's the problem is I never know exactly who you are.
So. Yeah, so last week I was Kryler Murray because he left the field early after he lost last week. And then this week I'm Fussin' Herbert.
You already have your Josh Allen one prepared?
No, I don't. I 1 week at a time, brother. Oh, it's just like Brian Flores, but I got to win the day. That's the only thing I'm focused on.
Oh, please.
Winning the day.
Please.
I mean, for all you know, it's true. You know better, but if you didn't know better, you would assume that I'm speaking truths right now.
No. Right. All right. So
I liked Fussin' Herbert. I thought that one was clever.
Justin Herbert fuss?
Well, no, they just lost. So Justin Fussin'.
Oh, okay.
That's the dad joke component that I'm still mastering.
Magical happens when the baby's born. You know, that's when you really come into your own with
the dad jokes.
Yes.
Lordy. Hey, since I can't trust you, Joe, everybody who's in the comments already, there's a good amount of them. How do we sound this evening? Is everybody sound like
great?
Oh, I do?
Yeah.
Great.
I didn't know I was on mic.
It is the podcast partner's obligation because I have everything plugged in, but that doesn't, because you know this all too well about your internet. Just because it's set up right doesn't mean it's working right.
What's up, Michael, Aiden, Jared, Ander, Kyle? Ander, Kyle.
Are you Ander or Kyle? And you skipped over Grayson and Brian.
I didn't get there yet.
Oh.
So Grayson.
Folks are ready to go.
Brian. It's Kyle Anderson. It's Birdman from the Nuggets. It's him. I know it.
Oh.
Yeah.
What a pleasant treat to get the Birdman. Didn't he have like a call? Did he? That's a genuine question.
I don't know the answer to that.
All right. You ready to roll Tide?
Yes.
Okay. We're going to roll the intro video and then we're going to pop this thing off. Would you rather tonight? There it is. All of the Draft Network live streams are brought to you by our friends. And Mighty Swell and Joe, we thought it was appropriate since we're tailgating Thursday Night Football, pre-gaming, a little virtual cheers with all of our friends at home watching. I have Peach.
Cheers, Blackberry from here. Cheers to the Patriots not winning the division in the year 2020.
Cheers to that. I'll drink to that all day long.
Spilled that right all over me. That was great. Oh, that's delicious. Very good.
We wouldn't lie to you. It's like Built Bar. Oh, Sports Nuts already got a great Would You Rather.
Let's start the show. You ready?
Yeah, let's go. I'm going to enjoy some Mighty Swell while you roll it in.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes here on the Draft Dudes podcast presented by Locked On. It's Joe Marino and Kyle Krabs from the Draft Network. And we are your hosts here on this live episode of Would You Rather, live on a Thursday night before Thursday Night Football in your podcast feed on a Friday. Today's episode is also brought to you by Pepsi. This football season will be different, and Pepsi is here to get you ready for game day no matter how you watch this season. Pepsi is the refreshment you need to power through game day and become a member of the League of Football Watchers. Because Pepsi isn't made for those who play the game. It's made for those who watch it. Pepsi made for football watching.
I was going to finish it.
Sorry.
We lost that special moment. Well, add a little spice to our friends at Pepsi.
All right, dude. So would you rather? And I have two prepared for you. So I'm going to need some help from the comments tonight to fill this up.
Sean Prince, this is would you rather, but we have to address this because this is the third time we've gotten this comment, something along these lines, after you and I did the what is best for the Giants video. Sean, Kyle, we have beef. The Giants are this year's Dolphins, not Falcons or Jets.
What do you have to say about that?
I disagree. The dynamics of Miami's shift in 2019, the parallels are first-year head coach, right? The Giants have already made their commitment to a quarterback. They have had a general manager in place who's not doing an active rebuild. So the parallels between the two are they're bad teams with a first-year head coach, and that's it. But the Giants going 3-7 to this point, I don't think qualifies them to be in a rebuild when they weren't trying to rebuild. It just makes them bad, in my opinion. But that was a very popular bit of feedback from folks regarding our Giants video, in which we referenced teams like the 2019 Falcons and Jets who got hot late in the year. And Giants fans want to think that the Giants are, and understandably so, they want to have optimism around their team. All 32 fan bases want to have optimism around their team. But I'm not buying that the Giants are the next 2019 Miami Dolphins just because they have a first-year head coach.
All right. I want to give you
what
my
about
first.
You're just as guilty of this as I am because you took part in the video.
I wanted to move on.
I bet you did.
I am very much the Giants should try to compete and win the NFC East this year. Right. I mean, that's a team that was gutted. I don't see the parallels. I really don't. Dolphins kind of gutted, set themselves up to embrace this rebuild, had a really different process to get here. And I think the leadership differences are like you said, with Gettleman. I don't know, man. I don't think that's disrespectful for the Giants either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I want to communicate. I don't think by saying that the Giants are the Dolphins of 2019, I don't think that's a slight on the Giants. If they're just doing it different.
There's also 6-7 games left to be played too.
Yeah.
Like, they're 3-7. And I can already hear the Giant rebuttal of, well, Chris Greer was the general manager before.
But not really.
Right. Mike Tannenbaum ran the show.
Yeah. All right, Kyle, today on the podcast, we talked about the 2019 quarterback class.
Correct. We did.
So I feel like a great way to tie a ribbon on that discussion is, would you rather move forward with Gardner Minshew or Daniel Jones?
Gardner Minshew.
Whoa, he didn't even pause.
No. Gardner Minshew does not have the negative plays that Daniel Jones does through the vast majority of his resume as an NFL quarterback. Period. And negative plays are the best way to set your offense behind schedule, off script, or set opposing teams up on short fields. Daniel Jones does all of that at a higher degree than Gardner Minshew. And I think he has a more intrinsic feel of feeling opposing pass rushers. And as a result, those two things combined, give me Gardner Minshew.
Would you rather move forward with Drew Lock or Dwayne Haskins? So that's more interesting. I can tell already by the way you're responding.
Shoot me into the moon.
Well, that's one of the options.
What about the sun? Would you rather get shot into the moon or the sun?
Well, I think it would be depends on what the alternative. I think we'd potentially rather pick the moon, but people have been there, you know.
All right, so this question really comes down to another hypothetical. Joe, would you rather have a quarterback that throws too many interceptions or a quarterback who takes too many sacks?
Sacks are better than interceptions.
Correct. So give me Dwayne Haskins.
Okay.
What a miserable hypothetical you started.
Yeah, let's. Okay. All right. Let's get to the comments here.
Okay. Yeah. Sportsnut had a good one. Where was that at? Would you rather have Trey Lance or Sam Howell as a future franchise quarterback? You've seen enough of both of them to have a take here. Don't get all coy just because Howell's not eligible.
I am not fully in on Sam Howell yet.
Neither am I.
So I like him. His production's been really good. in Phil Longo's offense. He's had really good fourth quarters, and I love that about him. A lot of very good clutch moments, that stuff matters. I think Lance is a much more gifted player, much more gifted prospect. So I think
athletically and arm. Would you include the arm in that?
Yep. So I would rather have Trey Lance than Sam Howell.
I agree. Because a lot of times Sam puts himself into those situations in which he has to be hero late, right? Poor play earlier in the game and then has to climb the mountain and overcome it later.
Sam's got so much. So I do the recap article every Monday of like draft prospects that boosted their stock. And I think for like 4 weeks in a row, I had a different North Carolina offensive player, whether it was Michael Carter, Javonte Williams, Daz Newsome, or Diami Brown. It's like, good gracious, it's somebody else having just unbelievable numbers that you cannot overlook. And those are all good players, but who did he have at North Dakota State outside of a couple of offensive linemen, right? Volson and Raduins for Lance. Mm-hmm. Any of those players going to be playing on Sunday?
You might get somebody who sneaks in, but there's no like prominent names. No.
What about Jared here with the Panthers drafting a quarterback or BPA in the top 10? I think so. This is what's fun. I don't know when we had this conversations because we have too many conversations, but we had talked about
every day.
Yeah. So at some point in our lives in the last week, we had this conversation where it was a scouting meeting Wednesday, and Jordan made everybody say, who would you rather have, Zach Wilson or Trey Lance? And when it got to my turn to answer the question, I said,
you tried to fly under the radar on that one too.
What I said,
Joe, what about you?
I know, I did. You're not wrong, and I'll accept that.
Okay.
Well, because my answer really was, some teams I would rather go Lance, and some would be Wilson. If I'm the 49ers or if I'm the Patriots, I probably would rather have Zach Wilson. If I'm a team like Atlanta or who else? Carolina, if I was going to go quarterback, I'd probably pick Trey Lance. But if I'm the Panthers and I have what I have in Teddy Bridgewater, and this whole plan, it seems like, is just get the roster right. And then whenever that chance to really go in on the quarterback is, you do it then. I wouldn't break script for a quarterback. If I'm Carolina, I wouldn't break my script or my plan for any quarterback that's not named Lawrence or Fields.
I think Teddy's shown you enough that like you can evaluate the rest of the talent around them. And they were another team. This is a good example of a team that has some parallels to the 2019 Miami Dolphins as far as losing some talent instead of the New York Giants being a parallel. I think there's more parallels with what the Carolina Panthers were doing. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, man. But what my criticism for the Panthers is you did nothing to accelerate your curve. You didn't trade any players off. Right. You didn't trade back in the draft. Like, what was your plan to like get yourself some assets to get more?
Well, maybe some of it involved not losing a bunch of dudes to retirement the year they flipped the switch into the rebuild. They had a bunch of older established players who kind of just dropped off the face of the earth on them.
Yeah. Weird. Man, I'm digging this black cherry, man. I'm not even kidding.
Thanks to our friends at Mighty Swell.
Mighty
Swell. We would not lie to you. We would not.
No. Okay. What do you like, Kyle?
Dion Dunn.
Dion Dunn. That sounds like an outfielder.
That sounds like a new name. I hope it is. If it is, Dion, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Brian Flores or Cliff Kingsbury as your head coach? You don't think it's close?
Yeah, I'm getting the lights on for this. I did my crossover discussion last week because the Bills were playing the Cardinals.
Right.
And you know me, I've been critical of the Cliff hire since it happened.
Correct.
And I took a shot at him today in the podcast where I talked about orange slices and cell phone breaks. But I mean, also like game day management and play calling has been bad as well. And so I asked the really good the host of the Locked On Cardinals, Bo Brock and Alex Clancy. Mm-hmm. And I was like, talk to me about Cliff Kingsbury. And you know what they started talking about? Abs, Instagram pictures, a sweet living room, his fireplace. And they said, well, we hope he can get to the high school level of coaching because he's still like in middle school.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So like
they said that. So
yeah, this team, Kyler is hiding so much of Cliff, man. So much of it.
But to be fair, stylistically, he's in a system courtesy of Cliff that allows him to thrive.
Right. That's the one piece of it that like,
that's
okay,
going to
all
always be the redeeming quality about the Cliff Kyler pairing is that offensive style. Let Kyler cook.
And good for him with that. But everything else, brother, that's why we get the poop emoji hat out for even putting Cliff Kingsbury in the same sentence of Brian Flores.
I hope somebody's rolling into this late and just finds you wearing the poop emoji
That's
hat
with
no context. With no context. Did you happen to read Ted Wynn's Brian Flores piece for The Athletic?
I don't want to sit here and talk about how good Coach Flores.
No, I'm not going to sit here and make it into some weird thing where you got to offer a bunch of praise for the Dolphins head coach. But like, did you get a chance to read it?
I didn't know.
It's very impressive. So courtesy of Ted Wynn of The Athletic, talking about schematically what the Dolphins cover zero blitz packages have been able to do in their amoeba defense. And I would highly recommend anybody with an Athletic subscription, go check it out because Ted is an awesome writer and he did a great job.
See this one from Gennaro about Mason Rudolph and Kyle Trask?
No, but I'm about to.
It's just a couple down from the one we just did.
I got you. What's up, Gennaro? Gennaro. There's no I in there.
Gennaro says, would you rather have Mason Rudolph or Kyle Trask? I want the unknown player and Kyle Trask.
I think there's at least some you can roll the dice on some ceiling that's untapped with Trask, right?
The devil you don't know, right?
You know exactly who Mason Rudolph is, and do either one of us think that an NFL team can win 10 games and contend for a championship with Mason Rudolph?
Not a chance.
Maybe you get your hands on Kyle Trask and he catches fire, right?
Right. Becomes a surgeon or something.
You're seeing what the Pittsburgh offense is capable of, or what the Pittsburgh team is capable of with Ben Roethlisberger back this year. Joe, let me ask you this. What's different from Pittsburgh's depth chart this year versus last year, other than adding Chase Claypool and Alex Highsmith?
Javon Hargrave.
So you lost a player.
Right, yeah.
Okay. Who did they add to upgrade anywhere else other than just getting Ben Roethlisberger back?
Oh, nothing. Their offensive line's worse with the right tackles out, right?
Correct.
So they're down.
They're 9-0 versus last year being 8-8.
Yeah, it's like
with Doug Luck. Hodges and Mason Rudolph.
Remember Andrew Luck or the year that they didn't have him and he came back and it's like, okay.
Yeah. So.
And Ben's not even playing great. He's like 25th
correct.
in the league in yards per attempt.
Hard sell on Mason Rudolph. As hard of a sell as you can have. Joe, you know what's an easy buy?
I do.
What's that?
The Lawnmower 3.0.
Oh, the Lawnmower 3.0. You know, some people trim their Christmas trees. Guys, a lot of times we just got to trim our junk, right? So the Lawnmower 3.0, thanks to our friends over at Manscaped, is the best men's below-the-waist grooming kit on the market. No bull. We're not lying about Mighty Swell. We would not lie to you about Manscaped either. The Lawnmower 3.0 has a ton of really cool features, including the fact that it's waterproof. Joe, it's got one of those little lights. So you can get all the little nooks and crannies, right?
That's right.
I mean, what's worse than shaving and missing a strip? And then you got one long strand amongst everything else that's nice and tidy. So the Lawnmower 3.0 is one of their new products on the market.
18 months in the making, dude. Like 18 months to engineer like the perfect
highly engineered ball hair trimmer is what we're talking about here. So what you can do is you can get 20% off and free shipping by using the code TDN. We kept it real easy for you at manscaped.com. Promo code is TDN for 20% off and free shipping to get yourself the gift that will keep on giving this year with the Lawnmower 3.0, courtesy of our friends at Manscaped.
Damn, Miami Dolphins got turned around quicker than they perfected making the Lawnmower 3.0.
Chris Greer, Executive of the Year. Brian Flores, Coach of the Year. Here you go. Here's a good one from Grayson. Would you rather draft as the New England Patriots Trey Lance in the first, Desmond Ridder in the third, or Jamie Newman in the fourth? This is a good hypothetical.
Yeah, I like it a lot. And Jamie Newman in the fourth is the immediate, like, get that out of here. Not interested. Desmond Ridder in the third. That's what I like. Ritter's fun, man. Like,
toolsy.
Yeah, last year he was one of those guys that's like, and I've heard this said about Josh Allen in the past, like he doesn't color within the lines, but man, he makes plays. This year he's finding some consistency. And early on in the year, I was a little bit nervous, especially after the South Florida game, where I'm just like, man, I don't know if he's going to put it together, but he is. And he's really athletic. He's got big time arm talent. He's on a really good football team. And I think there's just value. Like,
you have an irrational love for the Cincinnati Bearcats.
You watch this team play, man.
They're not even the best non-Power 5 football team in the country.
Because you're going to tell me BYU is.
That's correct. Our
play the
Cougs.
game. Let's play. I want that game to happen more than anything.
Great.
More than anything.
What do you want? The Sugar Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Rose Bowl?
Just give it to me.
How dumb is the Pac-12, by the way?
Make them look silly, man.
How dumb is the Pac-12, by the way? Now, after all this nonsense, now you can play non-conference games. Did you see this?
No. Was this today?
It was like yesterday.
Okay.
So now you can play non-conference games in the Pac-12 after they've given everybody a 6-game schedule in strike zone.
They going to tack them on? What's the plan here?
I guess teams that have games canceled are going to, like, same week find opponents to try and play amount of games to try and get enough to qualify for the college football playoff.
So Austin Peay is always available.
Correct.
Arkansas State. Central Arkansas. That's
Central Arkansas. BYU, man. Put them against the Utes. Let's do it.
I like BYU, but I love Cincinnati.
Man, you're wrong for it. I respect it, but you're wrong for it.
The best game on Saturday is UCF and Cincinnati, 3:30. Don't miss it.
I can't wait. You keep talking about this Marlon Williams, Aaron Robinson at cornerback.
That's right, Marlon. Richie Grant, you know about him. Otis Anderson, their little scat back running back, dude.
What a bunch of nerds we are, sitting here oozing over AAC prospects.
Passionate about what we do, man. Kidding me?
You love what you do. You don't work a day in your life. Sit here drinking Mighty Swell, talking AAC football. Had a Thursday night football with a huge heavyweight clash between the Rams. Not the Rams. I got the Rams on my mind because I'm Case here. The Rams are the favorite in the NFC is the take.
I don't hate this take. Favorite. So we're talking about this mix of Tampa, New Orleans, maybe.
Green Bay.
Arizona would probably like us to mention them, even though they lost to the Lions and like that.
Nobody in the East. Nobody else in the North.
If the Rams have a good one. They play the Bucs, and we know the Bucs are bad in primetime. That's Monday Night Football, I think.
Yep.
If the Rams win that football game,
ready to buy it?
Really, yeah. I mean, McVay's terrific, right? I mean, Goff can be had, but for the most part, like, that offense is humming. I think defensively, their new defensive coordinator is it Brandon Staley. That dude's got a good plan. Like, he makes it tough on you. So I don't even think they have great defensive personnel for the most part. And they're tough. You don't want to play the Rams. That's a tough game. So they're in it.
Yeah,
they're definitely in it.
It's definitely a tough team to play. Don't envy any team that's got to play the Rams.
I feel like that was tongue-in-cheek.
28-17.
Well, the Bills beat the Rams.
Yeah. Well, that's both of us, right? We're going to party like it's 1995.
So stupid. 94.
Is that the last time it was?
95 is the last Bills AFC.
Bills. Right. But I mean, like, the last time it was like Bills and Dolphins down the stretch.
It was all of the 90s, right?
Andrew Kyle, would you rather have the 7 years of Andrew Luck or the entirety of Ryan Tannehill's career, regardless of team?
Well, that's fun. Because 7 years of Andrew Luck is some really elite quarterback play.
Yes.
Tannehill developed.
But I wonder how you have to miss a season. But they would both miss a season, but you'd still have Tannehill playing, right?
Yeah, I mean, and you wonder how much differently Tannehill's beginning of his career looks like if it's not Joe Philbin and Adam Gase, right?
These dudes are in the same class.
Yeah,
Number one and number 8 overall. These two guys. Do you want to say it on 3?
No, because I don't have my answer yet.
Okay.
You have yours?
I have my answer, yeah.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, ready? On the E and 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Immediately follow with your answer.
I won't change my mind no matter what. So
okay. 1, 2, 3. Andrew Luck. Yes! Joe, we have so much in common.
So much in common.
We have so much in common. Yeah, give me the elite quarterback play. And I understand Ryan Tannehill's had a really good stretch of play here. But this Titans team has also plateaued a little bit, right? Like, not all of it's because of quarterback play,
no,
and I
man,
get that. But
they didn't replace Dean Pease, man. What was that for? Why didn't Mike Vrabel find a replacement DC? That team is too talented on defense for them to be playing like they are. Oh, really? Okay.
Joe, would you rather have Justin Herbert's new haircut or have to shave off your beard?
Okay, so there's a reason I mostly have a hat on when we do this show. So
it can't be any worse than this shit. Let's be honest.
So I have a beard because my wife, I worked a job for a very long time where I wasn't allowed to have facial hair. And so I got to the point where I didn't have to do that. I let my beard grow. And then I met my wife and she wants me to have a beard. So I have a beard. But if I can have, I mean, Herbert, I know his haircut's not looking good, but he's got hair, man.
He's got a full head of hair. Yeah.
That dude's got, his hairline. Give me the head. Give me the head of hair.
Would you, if you had Justin Herbert's potential to grow a haircut, would you go shortcut or what is Longnopolis?
So when I was able to have reasonable hair, I went to a buzz cut because I didn't want to have to deal with it. So I don't want to comb it and whatever people have to do to their hair, style it. I don't pay for haircuts. I'm out all the way out on all that crap.
No, yeah. Okay, here's a good one from Jeffrey. Would you rather draft Jalen Twyman, the defensive tackle from Pittsburgh, top 50, or Michigan State's Naquan Jones in round 5? I
don't have that much exposure to Naquan Jones, so that's hard for me. But I don't think that highly of Twyman.
Naquan Jones is a marginal interior defensive line prospect.
So a 5th-round pick?
Yeah.
Twyman gives you some upside. I mean, there's definitely some ability there, but his frame's underdeveloped. He's not great against the run, and he's a one-trick pony against as a pass rusher. That's a premium pick.
Top 50 is a steep price.
So yeah, let me throw away a 5, maybe get a rosterable guy, a rotational guy, and let me use my top 50 pick somewhere else. So give me Naquan Jones.
I think I agree with you, to be honest. And Twyman was super hot, and we bought into the hype a little bit with some of the penetration plays and the value of an interior disruptor. But the more you watched him, we kind of, as a collective group at TDM, we're watching all these players and we're like, well, hold on now. So I think as we've gotten more familiar with Twyman, and obviously he's opted out and not playing this year, but as we've more intimately dug into what he has available, and that's kind of the luxury of the guys that do drop off from a draft evaluator's perspective, is they're not going to give you anything else. Like, their tape is done, and that's the majority of your resume to begin with. So we watched more and more Jalen Twyman. It's like, a little apprehensive here. Definitely not willing to buy in for what? I mean, there was some round 1 conversation for him as a penetrate. And some of that was probably due to, in vacuum, how bad the perceived interior defensive line class was too. It's like, who gives you some upside that you can work with? Okay, let's point to that guy's the top of the class.
I have a would you rather.
Okay.
Because I have the 2019 NFL draft class still up. And
Man, you're still on this, huh?
Yeah, you know how you get it looking at a draft class and you're
Mhm.
looking at every stat. You've been here, I'm sure. Which 2019 wide receiver would you rather have? DeKalin Zechariah Metcalf or Terry McLaurin? What's interesting is that they are separated in production by 10 yards. So far, DK has 1,716. Terry McLaurin has 1,706.
What are the touchdowns?
15 for DK, 10 for Terry McLaurin. And you know that it's in quarterback play. DK's 2 more games than Terry McLaurin.
DK. Metcalf is going to be so elite. He was a higher graded prospect when he was coming out. For us, we had him as a top 10 player.
7. That was very irresponsible of me to have him.
Yeah, very, as one gentleman likes to, he deleted it though, for your sake, not for his sake.
Yeah, for me, because he called me a bastard, so he wouldn't want that to be out there. Jeez.
Get emotional about opinions, man. Like, all right. Sports Nut, he's had a couple good ones, and we haven't hit them all, but I do want to hit this one. Would you rather spend a large chunk of your cap space on a top flight left tackle or an elite pass rusher off the edge? Joe Marino. What holds more value to you?
I guess my question, where I think I have to find my reason, what I'm going to stand on to answer this is, okay, so if I don't have the elite player at that position, what's my opportunity to have a reasonable player?
It's a replacement level player. Is what you get.
And what does that difference in production mean? To me, the bigger difference maker is the edge rusher. Because a middling average pass rusher versus a middling average left tackle, I think that difference between the top upper echelon piece of it on both sides, the impact becomes greater at left tackle or at a defensive end.
I agree with you. Give me the pass rusher, somebody who can impact the opposing team. Because I'm watching the Houston Texans pay Laramie Tunsil $22 million a year, and their offensive line pass protection is not very good.
Because offensive line's the whole thing. You can't just have one good player. You can't just have 2. You can't have just 3.
Not if you surround them with crap.
No, yeah, you get killed. By the way, Sports Nut tossed in Aleem McNeil into that defensive tackle.
You're taking McNeil all day long.
In the 4th? Yes.
In the 4th, yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see, Brian. Would you rather have an elite head coach and an average GM, or an average GM and an elite head coach? Can you think of an example? Right? Can you think of an example of this?
Oh, that's fun.
That's probably our best case scenario too. So Bill Belichick. Show me the lie.
Last time I criticized Belichick's GM,
show me the lie.
I got railroaded for that. So no, I'm not. Listen,
he's average.
I want
their
the head
draft
coach.
Success is average.
I want the head has a bigger influence on the culture of the locker room. So give me the coach.
I'm Case is arguing for Seattle to be the elite head coach.
Pete Carroll's not Pete Carroll is. You think Pete Carroll's an elite NFL head coach?
I could tell you he's not suggesting that the Seahawks front office is an elite front office.
Oh, I don't disagree with that. But I think Pete
Carroll is a top blank head coach in the NFL.
15.
No, you're so disrespectful.
You want to talk wins and losses, I can't argue with.
He's a top 10 head coach. No question in my mind.
Dude.
No question in my mind.
He has some of the biggest blunders in NFL history as a coach. He literally just now let Russell Wilson run the damn offense. He's had him for like how long?
How's that working for him the last month?
Brother, he's been there longer than a month.
How
Pete
long?
Carroll
how
has
well
underachieved as the head coach of the Seahawks?
How well has let Russ cook that campaign done over the last month? Answer the question.
I can't.
Oh,
I can't.
okay.
I can't. There's so much context. Like when you just say that, you're ignoring way too much context.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Yes, you are. Injuries all over that running back situation. Crap defense.
But it doesn't matter if you're letting Russ cook.
No.
Who cares if your backs are injured?
Let Russ cook with all the other ingredients in the past. And it was beautiful for the first 6 games of the year.
I think you're grossly disrespectful to people.
No, I think he's overrated.
Last one. Sports nut again, because he keeps bringing the heat. You're a Washington football team fan. Would you rather keep football team or change it to something else? This is easy for me.
It's a little bit cool though. Like it's okay. I've sort of like enjoyed the football team. I think the branding becomes very simple. I think some of their like stuff has been kind of cool, like their merch and stuff.
So
look, you know what you have in football team. You could be some really terrible name that you just like. Doesn't click with me. You know,
football team is a terrible name. If they did Washington FC and kind of copied like the soccer thing, and our overseas listeners are probably furious with me for calling it soccer, but like so-and-so FC for football club. But to call it the Washington football team is so corny. It was put in place to be a placeholder. They acknowledged it was going to be a placeholder. You can't make it the placeholder and then say, oh, you know what? We kind of like it. We're going to keep it.
But
you can't do that.
That's what we're being presented here. So what? I mean,
well, no, they're literally talking about this.
No way.
Yes, they are. This is actually on the table. I saw it on my Twitter timeline this morning. This is a genuine conversation that's being had, is to keep football team.
They have put so much pressure on themselves to get this right. You know what I mean? Between these comments, between having this much of a amount of time between announcing and sharing like you better crush this. You better do it. What is that? The Seattle
Kraken. The Kraken.
You better like
it's got to be that
magic.
level of magic from a branding perspective.
Or else we're going to remember this day when we were given the opportunity to keep it the football team.
I mean, you could do Red Tails, you could do Sentinels, you can do Generals,
Red Wolves.
Red Wolves would be better than football team.
Ooh.
Okay, yeah, we're done here. Thursday Night Football's kicking off. Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino, thanks as always for tuning in to Draft Dudes Live pregame show. We hope you guys enjoy the game. It should be a good one between Arizona and Seattle tonight. If you're listening to this on the podcast feed tomorrow, come join us on Monday. We'll enjoy ourselves a little Mighty Swell. You can grab one and hang out with us. And we'll pregame Monday Night Football on the YouTube channel next. So Kyle Krabs, Joe Marino signing off. Thanks as always for watching / listening to the Draft Dudes podcast.